welcome to episode 2 of the JUKEBOX Time Machine. This week we've landed in the first week of April 1992. Elections were looming, civil war was raging, but we had Right Said Fred to cheer us up, so it wasn't all bad. So let's get right into the video and start our top 10 singles of the week countdown. And remember to stick around at the end of the video to hear my choice for the Forgotten Gem of the Week. Okay, at number 10 this week, after 7 weeks on the chart and hitting its peak at the number 2 slot for 2 weeks, it's Journeyth with a song that I still get stuck in my head sometimes. It's I Love Your Smile. The song at number 9 this week is a new entry into the top 10 which stayed there for 3 weeks, and it's Joy by Soul to Soul. Now let's take a look at what movies were already popular in cinemas and what films were released this week. The first release of the week is the Emilio Estevez picture Free Jack, also starring Anthony Hopkins, Mick Jagger and Rene Russo.
A wild ride with stunning special effects. It's a blockbuster fantasy movie.
Someone paid to bring him back.
Why me? Why don't they just grab somebody who's alive now?
I can't tell you that.
Emilio Estevez, Mick Jagger, Rene Russo, and Anthony Hopkins.
Welcome to my mind.
Open your eyes for the ride of your life. Free Jack. Look for it on video cassette.
Those we're enjoying this week were The Father of the Bride, Sweet Parenthood comedy, don't get these much anymore.
Well, Dad hadn't been sleeping so well lately, so I thought I'd take a couple of very mild sleeping pills.
In a strange coincidence, the original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was in the cinemas at this time on re-release. The Disney classic that you can't fuck with, as evidenced by recent cultural events.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
There was also My Girl, Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe, Star Trek The Undiscovered Country, Bugsy, and Gus Van Sant's My Own Private Idaho, one of my personal favourites from this week's movie lot.
Don't worry. Everything's gonna be alright.
The number 1 film in the UK at this time though was Martin Scorsese's somewhat disturbing pedo-psycho thriller Cape Fear.
Somebody's out there.
What's your connection with this fella? I was his lawyer. But you shackled him somehow, right?
And what was he in prison for?
No, really. What did you do? Have you been following me? It's a small town. Every way you turn, I guess we're gonna run into each other.
In the US, the top film was the stupidly popular Michael Douglas cheesy sex thriller Basic Instinct.
You're dealing with someone very dangerous.
So where's this going? What do you want from me?
You just can't tell about people, can you?
Right, back to our top 10. At number 8, it's Erasure with Breath of Life. And at number 7, it's Eric Clapton's depressing tearjerker about the tragic death of his 4-year-old son, who lost his life after falling from a 33rd floor apartment building window.
you can be lucky like Judah and I were.
It started as just a friendship, and now we're married.
It's a good thing. I certainly would have never have met Trevor.
Something happened, didn't it? It just clicked. Yeah.
It was just so natural between us.
It was love at first sight.
We just don't want to be away from each other at all.
Call Dateline on 071 938 1011 and you too could find love.
Right, let's see what we were watching on TV in the beginning of April 1992. Well, kids were getting their Saturday morning fix of entertainment from Going Live, which had started in 1987 and ended in April of 93. Presented by Philip Schofield and Sarah Green, guests this week included comedian Adrian Edmondson.
We'll start with a question on the phones first, Aid. Hello, who's on line 1? Hello?
Nobody's on line 1.
Who's there at all? Mary?
Mother, I've told you nobody...
Hello, Mary?
Hello.
Mary, you're there! Hello? How are you?
Fine, thanks.
What's your question?
Is Rick Mail as disgusting off-screen as he is on-screen?
You betcha, mate. Oh, blimey. There's a horrible man to be in a room. There's a very big smell wherever he goes.
Creator of the Rocky Horror Picture Show and Crystal Maze presenter Richard O'Brien, and Hollywood star Christian Slater. It also featured cartoons like The Raccoons and Muppet Babies. Had its own game shows Double Dare and Run the Risk, hosted by Peter Simon, and had its own comedy double act in the form of Trevor and Simon.
Who cares indeed? OK, now it's time to meet our celebrity guest for today. Who is Simon?
No, Trevor, I'm afraid it's not me. Our celebrity guest for today comes from down under. She used to be a bit of a delinquent, but now she's in a mood to celebrate.
Is it Morrissey?
No.
Is it Mandy Smith?
No.
Is it Kylie Minogue?
Yes, that's right, Trev, it is Kylie Minogue.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to go into the middle, Kylie?
Oh, sure.
There we go.
Hello, Kylie.
Hi.
Hello, Kylie.
Hi.
Hello, Kylie.
Hi.
Hello, Kylie.
Hi.
Hello, Kylie.
Yeah.
OK, right, let's move on to round 1. Now, round 1 is as easy as a Sunday morning, as the Commodores once sang in their popular song, Easy.
OK, Kylie, are you ready to play What's Your Name?
Yes.
OK, Trev, take it away with What's Your Name?
This week, Casualty aired an episode called Humpty Dumpty, where a hiking trip goes sour for a group of teenagers. Featuring an early appearance by the actor Robson Green, who would go on to become a big star after his role in Soldier Soldier led him and co-star Jerome Flynn to have a hit single with the song Unchained Melody in 1995, which stayed at the #1 slot for 7 weeks. On chat show Wogan this week, Terry had on Michael Ball, who was representing Britain in the Eurovision Song Contest later that year, to sing the last 2 songs for Europe. He finished the competition in 2nd place, and Michael, I would argue, is still one of the most beloved personalities in Britain today. He seems like a lovely teddy bear of a man, who always has a slightly rude joke up his sleeve or some positivity to spread, and an ever amazing voice.
One reason to put this love on the line. Again, can't believe that it's true. Now I'm one step out of time.
Okay, that's enough for TV this week. I'm sure there's probably something I missed, so please let me know in the comments. Right, back to the singles chart. At number 6, Annie Lennox asks why. And at number 5 we have Dance Floor Filler Finally by CC Peniston. So what was happening in the world of news and sport this week? The UK was heading into an election, with the result being just a week away. John Major, fronting the Conservatives, would ultimately keep control of the country, holding off Labour's Neil Kinnock and the Lib Dems' Paddy Ashdown. His strong position would dwindle over the following 5 years though, making way for a new party and a new era in 1997, when Tony Blair brought New Labour to power. This was also the week of the 64th Annual Academy Awards. This year seeing psychological thriller Silence of the Lambs dominate, picking up awards for Best Actor for Anthony Hopkins, Best Actress for Jodie Foster, and for Best Picture, beating Beauty and the Beast, Bugsy, JFK, and The Prince of Tides to win the pointless golden statue.
And the Oscar goes to The Silence of the Lambs.
In sport this week, the 1992 Grand National in Aintree, Liverpool was won appropriately by a horse called Party Politics and was ridden by Welsh jockey Carl Llewellyn.
It's Party Politics from Romany King. Laura's Bow coming to challenge Docklands Express for third. Racing towards the line of the giant Party Politics from Romany King. Laura's Bow has moved into third and racing up to the line. And Party Politics is going to win the 1992 Grand National. Second is Romany King. Third is Laura's Bow. Fourth is Docklands.
Dive right in.
Aries, I give it a good battering.
Libra, I like to weigh up the alternatives. Wait, hey!
Cancer, and I'm a shell man myself. How do you do it?
Right, back to the music. At number 4 we have my favourite song of this week's top 10. A song that proved that Right Said Fred weren't just a one-hit wonder. It's the one... Okay, at number 3 in its peak position on the chart after 5 weeks, it's the anthemic To Be With You by Mr. Big. Around... Other notable games out around this time were Terminator 2 Judgment Day on the NES, Streets of Rage, and Desert Strike on the Mega Drive. So we're almost at the top of our chart, but first it's the penultimate entry. These 80s rockers were still holding on to their crown as one of the country's most popular rock acts, only surpassed by Status Quo at the time. It's Def Leppard with Ooh, Let's Get Rocked. This week I couldn't find any notable births or deaths, so I found out who was celebrating which birthdays in this week of 1992. Celine Dion turned 24. Actor Ewan McGregor turned 21. AC/DC's guitarist Angus Young turned 37. Piers Morgan celebrated his 27th. And British TV presenter Stephen Mulhern had his 15th birthday this week. And so here we are at the number 1 spot of week 14, 1992. Who was the top of the pops? And so finally we're on to my forgotten gem of the week, which this week is Slash and Burn by the Manic Street Preachers. It peaked at number 20 in the UK before slipping to number 24 this week. Slash and Burn, the third single from the Manic's debut album Generation Terrorists, is a searing mix of crunching Guns N' Roses inspired guitars from frontman James Dean Bradfield and machine gun type programmed drums meticulously crafted by Sean Moore. It's full of glam metal swagger and punk defiance, with razor-sharp riffs and sometimes bafflingly confrontational lyrics from the Glamour twins Nicky Wire and Richie Edwards, critiquing Western imperialism through its fiery imagery. The raw anti-establishment message stands in stark contrast to the polished production, which reflected the band's ambition to become the biggest in the world with their debut album. Though they aimed to sell 16 million copies before self-destructing, the band fell gloriously short of that lofty goal. Yet their journey was, and still is, undeniably interesting and impactful. If you like rock music with a political edge, this is the band for you. That's it for this week's episode of the Jukebox Time Machine. I'll see you next week when I'll probably be in the 70s. This episode was brought to you by the internet and me, Ed. All voiceovers were recorded on a Yamaha MT-54 track cassette recorder.